Rick Ector from Rick's Firearm Academy is with us. How you doing tonight, Mr. Ector?
I am doing great tonight, Cam. How about yourself? How are you?
I am good. Thanks for coming on the show, sir.
Man, you know what? It's always truly a pleasure to be honored with being on the show.
Well, listen,
no exception.
Well, thank you. All right, so I'm looking at this this op-ed in the Detroit News, and it's by Andy Pelosi and Randy Block. Now, Andy Pelosi has worked with Mayors Against Illegal Guns. He's now director of the campaign to keep guns off campus. He's going after campus carry. Randy Block is the director of the Michigan Unitarian Universalist Social Justice Network, and they are complaining about this bill, Senate Bill 59 in Michigan. They say that for the first time, Rick, would allow individuals who have a permit to carry a concealed handgun on school property, in places of worship, daycare centers, sports arenas, bars, hospitals, college dormitories, and classrooms. What's going on here? What's the truth about SB 59?
Well, SB 59, Senate Bill 59, did clear subcommittee, and it's currently, I guess, stalled would be the best way to describe it. Still awaiting word as to when we will get a vote on it, but nothing significant has happened in the last couple of months with respect to Senate Bill 59.
Okay.
I looked at that op-ed piece that I saw in the Detroit News, man. There are quite a few things that just leaped out at me.
Yeah, where do you want to get started?
You know, that's the thing. Where do you get started?
Well, how about this? This jumped out at me, Rick. Andy Pelosi and Randy Block write, while the occasional shooting in a school or place of worship attracts national attention, these events are rare in the universe of gun violence. It's highly unlikely that an armed minister, student, or bystander would be in a position to prevent a mass shooting, except when it has happened and individuals have been able to prevent incidents like that. Right?
You get these blanket statements that are thrown out, and they're kind of like boilerplate anti-gun rhetoric that you typically see from the VPC, also formerly known as Handgun Control, Inc., or Mayors Against Illegal Guns. Of course, none of the data that this organization, Epic MRA, collected supports any of these spurious claims that they throw out. But, they tend to, they try to portray themselves as looking out for the safety of the would-be CPL holder in case some violence did happen. But as we all know, these violent events do occur more than occasionally. And despite the rhetoric in their op-ed piece, it's not by CPL holders. I mean, just some of the language I heard in this op-ed piece, man. Amateur vigilantes, do they even know what a vigilante is?
Right.
For one. And then two, what were they talking about? A so-called expansion of rights. I mean, I guess that goes back to where do you draw the line? I mean, you're talking about rights that were at some point in time in the past that were taken away. I could go with restoration of rights, but expansion of rights, that doesn't sit very well with me at all. But I did tell you, the piece did interest me such that I thought I'd do some snooping on the internet, and I came across the actual website of the firm that did this study. I guess we'll call it that.
Oh yeah,
Epic MRA. If you go to their press room, and there is a PDF document, and I posted it for all my social media buddies to see it on my Facebook page. One of the interesting things about data, man, is that garbage in is garbage out, right?
Right.
Well, if you look at that PDF file, man, and they specifically show you that of the 600 so-called statewide persons that were polled on this matter with respect to Senate Bill 59 allowing people to carry in these so-called pistol-free zones, 79% of the respondents of this poll said that there was no CPL in the household. So I guess how do you randomly conduct a poll and you come across 79% of the folks answering the survey don't have a CPL or there is no CPL holder in the house? The other thing that jumped out at me is that the article claims that 53% of CPL holders are against this so-called expansion of gun rights in these pistol-free zones, whereas 44% of CPL holders supposedly only support it. So I mean, as a firearms trainer who's been training for 6, 7 years, man, I really cast a dark shadow on the accuracy or the truthfulness of this survey. I really don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, 10% of the I'm looking here at this PDF here. 10% of the respondents had a concealed firearm permit. So, when you're talking about, I think this was a poll of 600 individuals?
600 individuals, and according to the information on their website, the Epic MRA website, it was done between March 31st and April 3rd of this year, and supposedly they polled 600 different individuals. I mean, just looking at the output.
I gotta tell you, Rick, if anybody's trying to conduct a meaningful poll based on a sample of 60 people, and if you got a poll of, well, that's the thing, 600. But if only 10% of them were concealed carry holders, then all of a sudden, when you're trying to gauge the support or opposition to this bill of concealed carry holders, you've got a sample size of 60. That's I mean, you talk about garbage in, garbage out. How many concealed carry holders are there in the state of Michigan?
Well, I looked that information up. I went to MCGR, the Michigan Coalition of Responsible Gun Owners, and they're a pretty reputable group, and they said that as of today, 325,000 CCO holders in the state of Michigan.
So 325,000 concealed carry holders. We're going to quiz 60 of them. And we're going to give you a great idea of what all 325,000 concealed carry holders in Michigan think about this bill.
Well, you know the thing about statistics, man. There's statistics, and damn lies, I believe is how the quote goes.
Yeah. Yes. And I would say, with this one, and you say the PDF, do they even quote they say the questions were commissioned by the campaign to keep guns off campus. So the anti-gunners wrote these questions, phrased them in a way that is also, I think, designed to elicit an emotional response.
Oh, yeah. I think the whole intent of this whole poll was to phrase it in a way to get the response that they want using, of course, the small sample size of actual CPO holders, 10 in this case.
Mm-hmm.
10% of the 600 would be 60 relative to the 325,000 CPO holders in the state, to sort of portray this measure moving, Senate Bill 59 moving out of subcommittee is somehow being railroaded against public opinion. And I really think that those folks, Epic MRA and the sponsors of this study, should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, Rick, listen, man, I appreciate you coming on the program, sir. Thanks so much, and look forward to doing this again soon.
Hey, man, anytime, let me know, and I'll be there.